This is James Lutton for Round 8 Boxing, sponsored by Upton Clan Builders, and I'm joined today with Joshua Rose. Joshua fighting on the undercard, Fraser Clark, Jamie TKV on the BBC. Massive opportunity for yourself. Just how excited are you for this opportunity?
So about 2, 3 weeks ago, I got a call up from my manager, and he said, "Oh, you've got the opportunity to get on this card." And I was like, obviously, I was in my room, I was buzzing, and I was like, "Yeah, let's do it." And obviously, asked the questions, sort things out, and then he was like, "We'll get back to you." And then I heard nothing for a good week, so then I was like, "Oh, I'm probably not getting on it." And then it come to 2 weeks ago today, and I was in bed, I was sleeping, and I got rung because obviously I got to get up early because I'm a bin man, so I go to sleep quite early. And I got a phone call about 10 o'clock. And he was like, "You've got to start, you've got to start." But yes, so that's how it happened. And I got up, ran to my mum and dad's room. I was like, "Get up, get up!" Guess what? Got to start. And then yeah, was buzzing from there.
I can imagine. You mentioned obviously you work still as well. Boxing's not your full-time job just yet. I'm sure that's the ambition for yourself. Just how tough is that to juggle work with training and fights?
Well, like the way I look at it is, if I don't get my sleep right, it can really affect me. So I try to get like 7 to 8 hours a night, which is obviously normal, but because I'm getting up early, I want to try to get sleep around about 8:30 every night. So if I don't get that, then it kind of affects my day because the job is demanding. Because I'm walking around a lot and I'm picking up heavy stuff, and but yeah, it's manageable.
Absolutely. Let's talk a bit about your amateur career. You've achieved quite a lot as an amateur, two national titles, your decent amateur record. Um, I want to ask you, what drew you first to boxing? Why did you decide to start boxing?
So when I was 8, I done Muay Thai for a year, and I was put in that to learn how to defend myself because I was quite scrawny and little back then, and I get picked on a lot. So I was in Muay Thai for a year, and then obviously I left because of like it weren't really doing anything for me. I didn't enjoy it that much, and it was some other things. And then my mum took me down to Hall Green Amateur Boxing Club, and yeah, I remember just starting there, and I used to dance a lot in the ring because I used to love dancing growing up. And then one of the coaches, say his name's Lewis, he showed me to basically use the dancing into footwork, and I just fell in love with it from there because everything in the ring, when it comes to moving my feet, I just thought of it as dancing, and I still do to this day.
Is that one of your strongest assets, you would say, your footwork?
Oh yeah, definitely.
When did you realise that it was more than just a hobby? When you started enjoying it and you thought, actually, I could pursue this as a career?
Um, Probably when I first won the nationals, because I remember it was on my third championship running. Because the first time I entered the championships, I was 10 and I won the Midlands, and I kept losing the pre-quarters and the nationals. And then on my third time, I won it, and I remember getting into the semis and thinking, like, being in that like sort of big venue for my age, I was like, yeah, nah, I'm meant to be here. And then after that, winning that goal, winning them golden gloves, and we're going home and just thinking, yeah, this is exactly what I want to do. I'm gonna just keep chasing it now.
Talk to me about the transition. You turned pro at just 19. You know, it's a big call for a young man. What's the biggest adjustment you found so far?
Um, Probably, the like it's very how can I explain it? Like it really shows it's like a proper like aggressive sport in the professional side. Do you know what I mean? Compared to the amateurs, like the amateurs, like you can just pick your shots and move. Like you can just have fun, but in a pro, you got to dig deep. Like when it comes to it, you have to dig. Like the other day, like even me and Gaz went sparring the other day, and I was sparring this lad's named Brian Jones. I fought him twice in the amateurs, and even in them rounds, like he's obviously had that pro style for all his career. I'd say even he can say that himself. And when we were sparring, like it was a hard transition then because obviously I'm still learning as I go along, and having to dig deep. It's something that I'm still kind of setting into.
Is that the Was that the thing that surprised you the most as well? You mentioned it's the biggest adjustment that surprised you.
Yeah, because like I've always been told I'm like a strong lad. Like I do hit hard, and I mean I do believe it. I do hit hard, but it's the physicality behind it, like having to like rough them up as well. Like that inside, like yeah, I didn't really think, oh, you have to get in there and rough them up a little bit. I think like I'll kind of always thought, nah, just hit and move. But it's not that. You have to get in there. Sometimes you have to throw each other about a bit, and the ref can't always save you like they do in the amateurs.
No, absolutely. Just for those who haven't seen your fight before and will be tuning into BBC, how would you describe your fighting style to fans?
Um, oh, that's a good one. It's it's a calm style, but destructive. I'd say I like to break people down. So through the rounds, I get better through the rounds. So like you won't see much early on, but later on you'll see a lot of different, and I will surprise a lot of people. And I really think getting on this, getting on BBC Two on television, this opportunity is really going to show loads of people like what I'm made of.
You mentioned you're not a slow starter, but you won't see an awful lot in the first couple of rounds potentially of
Mm.
yourself. What goes through your mind those first couple of rounds? Are you trying to work your opponent out? Are you trying to break down the game plan?
Yeah, sort of. It's more or less like because everyone's, no matter who it is, everyone's a dangerous fighter in them first couple rounds. And the way I look at it is like, let me just settle in quickly, defend, and obviously, if the chance comes, say if the chance comes and I'm defending, I clock him in the first round, then I'm going to take the opportunity. Do you know what I mean? But that's not always going to happen. So yeah, like them first few rounds, I like to just settle in and like work things out nice, and then just go from there. As soon as I got their number, I'm sweet. Then I'll just take over.
I mentioned a minute ago how you've obviously turned over pro at such a young age. How do you
Yeah,
deal with pressure?
pressure is in like because of the transition of turning pro.
Well, just I suppose in the build up to, fight nights and for example, this fight coming up on BBC Two under the
Oh,
bright
okay, yeah,
lights.
yeah.
How do you deal with that those sort of nerves and contain that?
It's to be fair, like that sort of stuff more excites me than anything because, like, I'm a proper attention seeker. So all this stuff where it comes to like getting put out there, I love it. It kind of like it feeds my ego. So like I've never really felt pressure in that sort of sense when it comes to stuff like that. But yeah, it kind of just feeds my ego.
Now, when I was doing my research for this interview, Josh, I come across saying your cousins with Brian Rhodes. Is that right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Obviously, Brian, British champion, fought for a world title. Have you spoke to Brian a lot about your career and about boxing in general?
Yeah, well, I was with Brian in Riyadh in July. I was there over my birthday because I got called out there to spar this young lad, a prospect. He's fighting on Devin Haney's undercard in well whenever it is. I can't remember the date for it. And yeah, I was out there with Brian, and when we was at Mike Tyson's gym, he was just giving me loads of tips, and he was just telling me loads of things about moving forward, and obviously the boxing side and the business side of things.
Did you ever watch much of Brian's career when you was growing up?
I watched a few of his fights, but I didn't really know much about him until I was like 13, because before before I really won the nationals, like boxing, obviously, because I that's when I started taking it serious. So when it was a hobby for me, I didn't really think nothing of it. I never used to watch it. Like I remember when I was little, like obviously every young lad but back then has watched a boxing film like Rocky, and like even then, like it never really intrigued me. So now I never really watched him up until like, later on when I knew about him.
Has he given you any sort of advice that you've sort of taken on board that you use like for your fights coming up now and things like that?
Um, the main thing is it took me a while to clock it myself, but the main thing he's told me, this is just with my boxing. He said because I've got a really good jab, and my jab is similar to his, and a lot of people have said his jab was wicked. And he showed me a few things from there, and I've took that on board, and it's just made it a lot better.
You mentioned earlier, obviously, you're still working full time job. You've been when you say you're up early in the morning, you're in bed early in the evening. Talk to me about these sacrifices outside of the ring. Your training, your diet, your job.
Mm.
Probably miss out on going out with mates and things like that.
Oh, yeah.
What's been the hardest part of life as a boxer so far for you?
Um, well, obviously, a lot, majority of my mates they like to go out like the clubs, like raves and whatnot. About a year ago, it weren't really my thing, but like I'm a proper music. I love music, and missing out on that, it does. Like I do get a bit of FOMO when it comes to it, but these sacrifices I make because in my head I'm thinking if I'm making these sacrifices, it's just making me closer to where I want to be. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, like in my job, so obviously I get up at 5, start at 6, finish at 2, and then I come straight to here, train, go home, eat, and I'm on a nutrition plan, so I've got a nutritionist as well. So I've got to stick to certain foods. I'll only be drinking these as well. So like I'm missing out on like the normal average life, but this is the price you got to pay, and this is the stuff you have to do to get yourself up there.
No, definitely. And you said there you know where you want to be. Talk to me about that. What's your plan? Obviously, everyone wants to be a world champion, but aside from that, let's say in, I don't know, 5 years' time, where do you see yourself?
In 5 years' time, I see myself probably bare minimum for me British champion. Um, Obviously, ideally, I want to be a world champion in 5 years' time. But outside of that, I'd want my own house and to start my own family as well.
And just finally, Josh, in terms of young fighters watching this and watching your rise in your
Mm.
career as well, what's one piece of advice you'd give somebody who wants to follow in your footsteps?
Just train hard, keep your head down, and don't worry about everything that's going on around you. Just stay locked in. The more you put in, the more you'll get out. That's the best way I can put it.
No, absolutely. Josh, thank you very much for your time. I really appreciate it. And best of luck for your
Yeah,
fight.
thank you. Thank you.
Time, mate.